All right, folks. It appears I am now live and streaming. Something was wrong with my screen. I couldn't see myself. So now I can. So I'm going to team things up here with Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, it's Stu Smith 50, whereas YouTube is Stu 50 Smith. So let's see if we get double connected. All right. So we are live on YouTube and live on Instagram. So terribly sorry about the little screw up there at 10. I had Zoom. I was going to share my screen and show some PowerPoint stuff that I had planned, but I was not seeing what you guys were seeing. So I got to figure out what the heck happened on that one. So just going live for a little bit, just see if you guys have any questions. It is end of the week Friday, so I'd like to kind of get a little habit going with a weekend review type of program. So this weekend review was a big one for me. Just a lot of stuff going on with work, creating a new program, updating old programs. Some of the updates I've done this week, got them already back in the mail, is this one. All right, the Army workout might not seem that sexy to some of you guys, but there's a whole lot of changes in the Army. The Army has created what's called the OPAT test, which is Occupational Physical Assessment Test, which includes some deadlifts, med ball throws, other exercises, shuttle runs, things like that, as well as this one. The Air Force has changed things a little bit, not so much with their testing and standards, but with their process of getting through the pipeline. And the Army's also is in the process of creating a new fitness test called the Combat Fitness Test, which is a lot different than the push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. You still have to do the 2-mile run, but there are some shuttle runs and some ammo can carries, some sled pulls, medicine ball throw. Instead of sit-ups, they took out sit-ups, and now you got to do these hanging knee ups where you got to bring your knees up to your elbows. And I tell you, that's a hard one to do. You got to practice that one to get good at it. And you got deadlifts, so I think that's great. I think they are getting a lot more tactical in their programming, I should say. Maybe functional might be a better word. If you notice behind me, I have a book called Tactical Fitness, and we're going to talk about that just for a second. Because if you think about what tactical fitness is, it really needs to start incorporating strength and power, speed and agility, muscle stamina and endurance, mobility and flexibility, and grip, right? So all of those elements go into creating a better tactical athlete. And those are just elements of fitness. And if you think about this new combat fitness test they just came up with, it actually tests all of those elements. So, where your regular PT test would be push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run, you're only going to really get muscle stamina and endurance tested. That's it, right? So think about all the elements of fitness, and that's what tactical fitness is. And let me just run through, because I came up with my own tactical fitness test in this book called The Dirty Dozen. And the reason I call it The Dirty Dozen is because there's 12 exercises in it. And check this out. So I'm going to walk you through this real quick. I'll put a link in here for you underneath the description, but it starts off with this. You have to, and you know what? I even make the athlete think about how to best organize this. This is part of the test. So you got to create a strategy of how you can organize this to make you score better. So there's no set order of this. You can do your strength and agility first. You can do your endurance and muscle stamina second. However you want to do. You can do your swimming last, your swimming first. It's up to you. So For instance, we have a test that tests rucking. So it's a 4-mile ruck, 50 pounds, and you have an hour to finish it, which is pretty easy, 15-minute mile, right? There's no, if you get it faster, you get some extra points, but that's the minimum. I don't have a fast time for that. I'm not looking for rucking to be a sprint, right? This is, to test your ability to carry weight for an hour, basically. So then you got 25-pound pull-ups, body weight bench press, max reps, deadlift 1.5 times body weight, up to 5 reps. You can go to 2 times body weight, get some more points. Fireman carry, you got 100 yards of equal body weight you have to carry over your shoulder. 400-meter sprint, got a shuttle run of 300 yards, which if you've never done this is a tough one. So you go 50 yards, or I do it 6 by 50. Some people do it 12 by 25. So you can do 50 down, 50 back 3 times and get yourself 300 yards, or you can do 25 down, 25 back 6 times and get yourself 300 yards. So I do it 6 by 50s. Then we have a plank pose. You got to hold it. If you can do it for a minute, you pass. If you can do it for 5 minutes, you max it out. We got a 3-mile timed run. Just got to run. That's your endurance test. Got the Illinois agility test. If you've never seen that, it's kind of like a bunch of cones where you just run straight, turn around, do some zigzags through the middle, zigzags back, almost like figure 8 running, and then you run back up and come back down. Takes usually 10 seconds, maybe 8 to 10 seconds. It's real fast. Actually, if you can do it that fast, you're probably world class. So it's more like 15 to 19 seconds. Then you swim. And I actually asked one question. Can you swim? If you can, then you pass that section. No, just kidding. You got to swim 500 yards in a time without fins. And then you have to buddy tow your buddy 25 meters to the other end of the pool. So that is my tactical fitness test that I came up with this program in Tactical Fitness book. The program is a 24-week program that works through all those elements, and it's broken up in a periodization style format as well. So that is one of my favorites, and that's what I really try to do. Throughout the year, periodization will enable you to master all of those elements of fitness spread throughout, focusing on 1 or 2 at a time and maintaining the others, but then working on getting better at some of the other ones, especially your weaknesses. So that is how you build a tactical athlete, in my opinion. Okay. But yeah, let's start taking some questions here. There's a ton of them today. So thanks for checking in with me. I'm going to start off with YouTube first. By the way, I'm going double duty today. So I got Instagram over here and I got YouTube over here. So my Instagram feed is lighting up too. So that's pretty good. All right. Can you talk about selection process for becoming a SEAL at the Naval Academy? Yes, I can. In fact, I wrote an article on it. And if you do that, Google search Stu Smith from plebe to SEAL Naval Academy, you will see an article I wrote on military.com that walks you through all the things that you have to do from getting into the academy, being a midshipman, and then the process once you start getting into your junior and senior year, how that really ramps up and you actually start going through selection and screening programs your junior year. So there is an article about it. I wrote it. And if you do a quick search, I think it's called From Plebe to SEAL. In fact, I'm actually just going to do that for you. Plebe to SEAL. Let me show you how this works. Go on Google, type plebe to SEAL. Boom. It's an Ask Stu question. So it's Ask Stu, U.S. Naval Academy, from plebe to buds. So plebe to buds, not plebe to SEAL. So how about that, huh? All right, next question. Let's see. Push-up programming for the PST. Minute sprints, question mark. reps in least set possible, 100 push-ups in as least sets possible. What's your opinion, most efficient way to train? All of them. I recommend in getting good at multiple different ways to do push-ups. So that means some days you're going to do super slow push-ups up and down. Like it may just be 5 or 10 repetitions in a set, but you're going to go 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. Right now, I personally, when I'm really getting into the PT testing, is I focus on, turning that strength exercise into a muscle stamina exercise. Right? That's what it is, right? It basically becomes an endurance exercise. One or two is strength, 20 to 50 to 80 to 100 is endurance and muscle stamina. So the best way to do that is you have to play around with your muscle stamina maximums, right? So that means pushing your limits, right? So yeah, do a 1 minute sprint fast as you can. Good form. You got to have good form. If you're just doing these little half push-ups that I see sometimes on the internet, people breaking push-up records, and I'm counting 0, 0, 0, 0 because they haven't gone all the way down and all the way up. You gotta go full range of motion on your elbows and chest touching the floor, or whatever your limit is. Sometimes it's a fist, sometimes it's a hand. Just depends on who's grading your test. But that's a good question. In fact, I just wrote another article this week. Let's see. But it's an Ask Stu article on push-ups. Damn, what's the name of that thing? I just had it. But anyway, I'll find it for you. But if you do a Google search, you'll see push-up progression, getting better at push-ups. Stu Smith, type in there, you'll see something in there. Also, the push-up push. Check that one out. That's an option. Google push-up push. Read a lot of guys try to become SEALs their plebe year, then drop out. Well, nobody tries to become a SEAL their plebe year because you're a freshman in college and you're not at Buds. So to try to become a SEAL, you need to be at Buds. Now, to try to get to Buds, there's no challenge for their plebe year. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. By the time you get to your third year, you have a screener that basically selects you or deselects you to go to SOAS. Yes, I run a workout group there at the Naval Academy called the Spec Ops team. We get a lot of guys that want to go Marine Corps, EOD, and SEALs, and it's an actual club there. So that's why I know so much about it, is because I actually work there as a coach, and I train all those guys to be better prepared for their journey. Is it effective to run in 4x2 empty space? I'm assuming you're running in place, doing jumping jacks type stuff. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. I've never done any effective running and not move at the same time. Stationary bike maybe, but I don't do stationary running unless I'm on a treadmill. Let's see. Do you have any tips to prepare for Ranger School? Tips. There are no tips, right? There's programs, and there is preparation. My tip for you would be get a program that prepares you for all the elements of fitness that you will be enduring while at Ranger School. You're going to be running, you're going to be rucking, you're going to be rucking a lot. You're going to be putting a lot of miles in. But you still need to be able to pass PT tests, and your PT test is push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and a 5-mile run. You got to do that in 40 minutes. So get good at your 5-mile run in under 40 minutes. That's just to get to Ranger training. So, I do have Ranger SF programs. This is the Army version of it, kind of like the step before Ranger SF training. I don't think I have the Ranger SF cover here, but I do have programs on my StuSmithFitness.com page. Okay, let's see. Here's another one from Instagram. Says, how effective or how helpful are civilian scuba classes for SF selection? Well, I don't think they're specifically helpful for any scuba course you will take in the military. However, they are greatly beneficial to having a regulator in your mouth and learning how to breathe underwater with a machine before you get thrown into the military school of learning it. And uh, it could be a little more stressful for you. So you at least take out one of those stressors of like, holy crap, I've never tried breathing underwater before. Wonder what it's like. On top of dropping for push-ups and doing flutter kicks on the pool deck and all these little things that add to your day's stress while you're learning how to scuba dive. So yes, I think they're very beneficial for pure comfort underwater. So I was a PADI scuba diver since I was 13 years old. So yeah, I think that definitely helped me get ready for any type of military scuba diving. Okay, let's see. What should the balance between periodization training and the more gut check tests workouts look like? I throw in gut checks into periodization training. I mean, there's no reason why you can't do that. I mean, there are periodization programs set up. In my programs here, I mean, like we'll do little gut check stuff, in the middle of the week, or at the end of the week, maybe. And there's always some fun gut check things that you can do on landmark occasions, such as here's one I'm doing here on Monday. And this will be a fun one because I turn 50 on Monday. And here's my plan. I am doing 50 exercises for 50 reps. And then we are swimming 50 laps. And if you haven't accumulated enough exercises during the land portion and the weight portion of the 50 sets of 50 rep or 50 exercises of 50 reps, you can do calisthenics on the pool deck, accumulating 50 reps, occasionally through the thing. So, but some of these are, that may sound like a lot. 2,500 repetitions is a lot. However, it's spread out to every element of the body. So you can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do abs, multiple sets of abs. I think probably 50% of my exercises will be some kind of ab work, from leg levers, flutter kicks, 6 different types of crunches, sit-ups, plank poses. Usually I do a plank hold per second equals a rep of ab. So that's easy. Multiple different styles of plank, get you through that, get you through 5 or 6 of those. Push-ups, pull-ups, dips, bench press, machine stuff, whatever. You got to pick 50 exercises and do 50 reps of it. So it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing that one. I did something similar when I was 44, 45. So it's just one of those gut check days, so to speak. Keeps you moving for the whole hour and a half, 2 hours before you're done. But yeah, workouts like the Murph, not so much a gut check, but for some people it is a gut check. It also depends on how you define gut check. Are you just doing a marathon out of the freaking blue? That is a gut check I don't recommend doing in a periodization program. But just hard workouts, you can definitely mix those into the periodization style training. Like I said, I do all the time. Greetings from Northern Europe. Thanks for joining in. Let's see. All right. What type of academic majors do SEAL trainees at the Naval Academy typically get? All of them. You can do whatever you want. They tend to drive you towards the more technical majors, math, science, engineering type stuff. But there are English majors, history majors, poli-sci majors, language majors, computer science majors, all the above. Okay, does the official PTG on SEAL SWIC site prepare candidates well, or are there other ways to improve it? I think it's a great starting plan. So does it prepare people well? I think it builds a good foundation for you. And if with some good mental toughness, you could, probably get through buds on that. But I think it's too easy. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't think it's a bad program. I don't think it's, poorly designed. I think it's very smartly designed. I just think it's too easy. I think you need to put in more reps. You need to put in more miles. You need to do some more lifting. But it also depends. It also depends on your weaknesses, because I guarantee you, if you do something like this that tests 12 different, events that test all the elements of fitness, you will find a weakness in one or two of them. It never fails, so we all have weaknesses coming to, that type of training. And if you're a powerlifting football player, you need to work on your endurance. If you are a endurance guy, you need to work on your strength and power, so it's, otherwise you're going to get crushed, whether it's a run or a boat crushing you. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what else we got. Been at it for 20 minutes. Going to go for 10 more. Hopefully I'll get most of these questions done. You guys asked a lot of questions. Thank you. What is my opinion of weighted runs? I don't call them weighted runs. I call them rucking. So we put a backpack on and move out fast. It's different than running, though. Like if I run without weight, I run a different style and stride than I run with weight. It's either a power walk with weight, which I can drop that thing down to about a 13-minute mile power walking, or it's a shuffle, which I can usually get it down to about 11-minute mile, basically cutting my stride in half versus the full running stride. I don't recommend that when you're doing it. Some people still do it. I don't think I think your knees and back are going to take a toll if you run like you ruck. Okay, let's see. What's a good rucking goal going 18x? Good question. Good timing. 12 mile in sub 230. Yeah. So think about it this way. The minimum standard typically for rucking is a 15-minute mile. So 12, that would mean you're looking at 4, 3. So it's a 3-hour ruck would be your minimum standard. I would say if you can get 10, 20, maybe even 30 minutes under that minimum standard, you're going to be in really good above average scores. But a 250 is not bad. I think it's cutting it a little close. And I would probably, wait a second, 12. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 3 hours, 4 miles an hour. If you can get it a little bit faster than 4 miles an hour, maybe say 5 miles an hour, that's going to get you a lot more little gravy time there for your rucking, so you won't be so borderline failing. Good question, though. Oops, sorry, folks. Lost my phone there. Recon advice. You know what? That's a tough one. You're going to have to, the biggest piece of advice that's different from SEALs or Rangers and, programs like that is you're going to be rucking a lot. You're going to be PTing a lot. There's logs, there's boats, but you're also going to be swimming. Part of your screening program is swimming with fins. Swimming with your camis on. And that takes some getting used to. So don't blow off the 500-yard swim with camis, because if you've never done it, it will kick your ass. So definitely you want to be able to do some freestyle, side stroke, even breaststroke. So you do get a little more winded because you're not getting any glide when you're wearing full camis. You don't have to wear shoes, but you have to wear pants and top. And that gets it's a lot more work to swim 500 yards. So get in shape to swim 500 yards with your camis on, right? Let's see. Good questions. Yeah, I'll share my birthday workout on what I did and how long it took. Good question. PJ Indoc training, yes. They have changed things. PJs now, it's you used to be able to sign up and say, "Hey, I'm going to go be a PJ," and sign, go through the pipeline and all that. And now they have a they call it Air Force Special Warfare prep course, which is right after BMT, which is basic military training for basically Air Force boot camp. And after that, you go to what is now called assessment and selection. When you are going through that, you will be selected depending on your scores and your abilities and also your preference, what job you're going to get within the battlefield airman jobs, which is PJ, CCT, EOD, SEER, Special Ops, Weather Tech. What else? Is that it? There's 6 of them. Might be missing one. But anyway, that's how it's going to set up. So they're almost treating the they're treating Air Force Special Warfare very similarly to way they do Army assessment and selection, Army Special Forces assessment and selection. So it's now going to be a closed community in that group that will go through an assessment and you get selected for those jobs depending upon how good a swimmer you are, how good a runner you are, how good a teammate you are, and all that stuff. So there's a lot more into it. It's just changes that just took place this month in 2019. So check it out. Do a little more reading and do a Google search on Air Force Special Warfare, and you'll see some of the changes that have taken place. But you are going to run, you are going to ruck, you're going to swim, you are going to lots of PT, lots of treading. You're going to be buddy breathing with a snorkel, which SEALs don't do that, but the PJs do, and that is a hard event. You're getting harassed while you and your buddy are breathing with a snorkel while you're trying to tread and stay up on the surface. So it's a teamwork drill and a water comfortability challenge. So it's a good one. I would definitely spend a lot of time in the water. Any reason why you do more full body workouts instead of push pull legs in the winter phase? No, I do more split workouts than full body workouts. Maybe you have a program where I focus more on full body workouts and cardio, but and workouts like this, there's typically an upper body day and a lower body day, followed by a big amount of cardio. So I guess it really kind of depends on which program you're looking at, because I have a ton of them. This right here, right? These warrior workouts, tactical mobility, you definitely need some mobility work. Got 3 of these. I mean, this right here, these 2 right here are 300 different workouts. If you add the third one, there's 100 workouts in each one of those books. I guarantee you they're not all full body workouts. They're upper body splits, lower body splits, full body with cardio splits. Sometimes we even break it up and we'll do like today we did just a push day, all upper body push, because yesterday we did upper body pull and legs. So we mix pull-ups with deadlifts. So it's all, we change it up quite a bit depending on what you're doing. What's the best way to relieve a pulled muscle? Relax it. Don't overstretch it. You might be able to massage it, ice it. But I would relax it, give it rest. The last thing you want to do is stretch it, because you probably pulled it by stretching it. And that's not going to help it. So keep it massaged. You might be able to foam roll a little bit, or at least massage it with a ball or somebody's hand. Depends on what muscle it is. But I would ice and massage is pretty much probably the best bet. Keep the blood flowing in there. How do I need to do to? Okay, I'm not sure what that question is. All right, let's go back over here. Where should the foot strike the ground when rucking? You know what? When you walk, you have a natural heel strike. So I find personally, when I power walk, I will start to get shin splints. So what I try to do, or at least I won't call them shin splints, but my shins start to ache. So what I will do instead of, constantly power walking is break it into a shuffle where I have a really short stride and I'm hitting midfoot the whole time. Because heel striking can hurt your knees if you do it wrong, or shins. If you're really striking hard. Now, there's something to be said about maybe your heel grazes it, but by the time you put all your weight on your foot, your whole foot's on the ground. That's a little bit different than a heel strike. A heel strike comes in hard, and it's like putting on the brakes every time you do it. It's not like a roll of the foot, which a lot of people sometimes do like that. So just depends on how hard you're hitting. All right, let's see. So I was wondering, what are things to look out for ready to move on to the next fitness phase, like hypertrophy or strength, or to strength? Would it be PSTs or other form of event? You know what? I go like this. I typically go from each phase to the other just by change of seasons. So usually by a 12-week period of doing something, I'm pretty tired of doing that something, right? Whether that's a strength training in the weight room all winter, by spring, I'm ready to get outside and start running and doing more PT work. In the summer, definitely, just kind of we take that PT and running to another level and kind of peak in the summer. And then we come back down in the fall and we start getting inside again and doing weight training. So I do all my stuff strictly by the season. It's something I've done for 20 years and I love it. It's a habit of mine and it's the way I do things. It's not the way to do things. It's just a way, and it's a pretty fun way if you ask me. However, if you are looking for certain elements that says, okay, I'm done with hypertrophy, it doesn't have to be a 12-week cycle. It can be a 4 or 6-week cycle. You gain 5 or 6 pounds, and now maybe you're ready to, put some strength on it. That's how I would judge it. Did you get bigger? Did you get stronger? Or did you get bigger? Did you gain more weight? If so, then all right, let's now put some strength challenges to it and get a little stronger with those bigger muscles you got. So that's how I would judge it. And it could be a test, sure. I mean, the test that's in here that I spoke about earlier, the Dirty Dozen, you do the strength or I would say maybe do the strength portion or maybe the high rep calisthenic test events in there and see where you are. Right. And then go to the next level, see where you can go. It's always good to assess, no matter how you're assessing. It's not a bad idea to assess your running after a strength phase just to see how much you suck at it now. If you do, hopefully you maintain your running during your strength cycles. You didn't necessarily progress in your running, but if you can maintain close to where you started a strength cycle with your former running cycle, that's pretty good. It's hard to do, but it's really good. It can be done if done properly. And then vice versa, maintaining some strength while you're in a running cycle. That typically goes down just a little bit, but nothing crazy. Usually in a 2 to 3, 4-week cycle of strength again, you're back to your old levels. So that is how my system of periodization has helped me for 20 years. 20 years now. So I started when I was 30. And I'm 50 now, and I'm still doing the same workouts. In fact, that's what this was about. This week in review was about. I did all workouts this week that I did 30 years ago. So when I was 20 years old, getting ready for Buds, I would do, a lot of swimming workouts with pyramids in the pool, like hypoxic swim pyramids, freestyle. I would PT on the pool deck. So I did all those this week. Did a long ruck to Chick-fil-A. That was fun. From where we work out here, we got this trail that goes for 4.5 miles. And about 100 yards off the trail is a Chick-fil-A. So we rucked to the Chick-fil-A in the snow and cold and ate breakfast, and we rucked back. And it was a lot of fun. It was just something. It's kind of a going away workout for some of our guys. Who are heading out to boot camp soon. So let's see. 50. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I'm feeling good about 50. I don't feel bad at all. I've hit some good numbers this week on some old school workouts that I used to do. My performance is still up there. Um, Swimming is probably the best. I think I've become a much better swimmer over the years um, than become a much better swimmer over the years. I think just by not necessarily better conditioning, just better technique. So I learned how to swim watching good people swim. People who are really good at swimming swim, and I just mirror imaged it, tried to work it out. Um, and so, yeah, hit some really good numbers. I actually broke 8 minutes again on my 500 combat swimmer stroke, hit a 7:45. Let's see, did 100 push-ups, did a 95 sit-ups. So I was a little pissed. Tried to for 100 again. Got 24 pull-ups. And my mile and a half I'm testing today later on. I was going to take it earlier, but my legs were shot after that ruck. So I'm going to take it a little bit later. I'm only shooting for like a 10:30 though. If I can break 10:30, I'll be really happy. Break a 7-minute mile. Just not in a running cycle. But this summer, I'm going to try to get into the 6-minute zone again, drop a few more pounds and be in my weight. I'm almost at my college weight too, which is really fun. So 30 years ago, I weighed about 195 pounds. I'm right at 200, 205, fluctuating back and forth. So I'm trying to get back down to college weight and see if I can also get my running a little faster, even though I'm 50 years old now. But yeah, not bad. I think that's pretty fun. Fun challenge to do. Let's see. Oh, I missed your question there. Would you recommend more advanced calisthenics like muscle ups, pistol squats for a tactical athlete? Just wondering because I never found them in your programs. You know what? You're right. I don't do a lot of muscle ups. I don't do pistol squats. You can do those. I would say on days we're doing pull ups and dips, throw in some muscle ups. I mean, I can do them and I've done them, but I always feel like I'm just big cheating, kipping exercise more than I am actual working muscles. It's more of working a movement than it is of muscles, but I think it's a useful movement. So I'm not knocking it. Pistol squats. Yeah, those are really tough for me. I have one bad knee. That's not horrible, but sometimes it affects my ability to do that. So I just don't do them personally. I will do them with a TRX. Kind of helps me out a little bit easier. But I would say if closest we really come to pistols are probably weighted lunges and climbing up stairs. You know, skipping a step and taking a big deep step up a stairs carrying weight. So, nah, those are great exercises. But you're right. I don't really do them a lot in my training. Should you? Sure. Do you have to? I don't think so. Like I said, I've probably done, a few dozen of them in my life. So, what do you think about supplements? Understanding is that during buds, candidates cannot take any supplements. Yeah, you can't. But, if you're smart about it, you can get food, right? And if you look on the back of some supplements, it says supplement nutrition. You look on the back of others, and it says nutrition facts. Those are typically food. You're just replacing a macronutrient. So what I would do is this: baby formula, right? That is definitely a source of protein for you. But best thing to do is just eat. Just eat everything that you have available to you. Go eat again after the day is done, and just keep snacking. You need that extra fuel. But yeah, they will bust your ass if they see any supplements in your room. Just people used to screw up in the 90s with creatine and protein powders and stuff like that, and they just made a big sweep to just because it was just dehydrating people so much. Just made a big sweep, said, don't do it. I never did. I don't really think you need them. All right, let's see. What's the next question? On neck training. All right. So this is the last question. I've already gone 40 minutes. I'm terribly sorry. Neck training. Yeah. You know what we do for neck training? We do laying on our back and we're just up and down like this, left and right like this. And then we roll over on our belly and do the same thing. Up and down like this, back and forth like this. Your head is about an 8 to 10 pound melon. And that's a good weight to work your neck. Right now, you can do neck bridges like wrestlers, and you can do some assisted stuff where someone pushes on your neck and you're putting back if you want a little more resistance. But it's kind of up to you how you want to work that. All right, so I think I've gone on enough. Somebody asked about the previous live video I did on Instagram. I will see if I saved that one. If I did, I will post it up on my YouTube channel. So. All right. So that's it. Folks on YouTube, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And I will be back next week. In the meantime, consider a new membership program where you get access to live Q&As on a closed Facebook page, which I'm about to do here in a few minutes, as well as brand new unpublished workouts emailed to you every week and access to years worth of workouts that I've done the past few years. I actually have over 350 weeks of workouts that I am putting up into this database on my members only site. So consider it. It's $1 a day. It's not going to kill you. I will chat with you later.